Cole, just analyze the offense through 4 games. What's your thoughts? What have you done well? What haven't you done well?
Yeah, I think that first of all, we've had a lot of belief in ourselves. I think that's kind of never wavered. Going out obviously against Kansas, we were down 11, and I don't think we ever blinked or flinched. I think that we had belief the whole time that we were going to be able to come back and put together a couple drives. We obviously got to finish a little better at the end of the game, 4-minute wise. But we finished the last game, and that's kind of all that matters. And then moving forward, just kind of keep rolling, getting the connection between receiver, quarterback, and then get the run game established early. And I think that we got the pieces to do everything we want to do. We just got to kind of put it all together.
Your own play.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's things I've done well. There's things I've done, mediocre, and I think that there's a lot that I can improve on. I always kind of look at myself and not necessarily as offense as a whole as what I can do better. I haven't gotten the touches I wanted maybe because, I haven't been getting open enough. And I think that's kind of where it starts. And I can never, Gigi's got a lot going on. Coach Brown's got a lot going on. I can worry about what I can do. And I got to create more space, and I got to get a little more open. And that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Did you watch any games last week, and specifically the Oklahoma State-Kansas State game?
I did. Yeah, I watched that game. It was a good game. I mean, it's different watching because usually I just watch the film, so it's a little different watching the TV copy.
Right.
It's kind of funny just to see things that are from a different perspective, and then takes that people have on different things. But I think Oklahoma State's a really good team. I don't think their record shows how good they are. They've had a tough schedule coming up. Kansas State's a really tough team. They did a really good job against them. Had a really good plan, and they're gonna be ready to play. Coming off 2 losses, I think that they're gonna be coming out firing, kind of where we were in the same situation. Backs against the wall, ready to fight. So it's gonna be a really good game. Analyzing them as a defense, they got a lot of length in the secondary. Really fast, really physical. You got a really good linebacker. D-line plays really hard, so it should be a really good game and a really good matchup.
Just from them in the past, they're a defense that likes to be physical.
Yeah.
And they will do what they're allowed to do until the officials.
Yeah.
Have you talked about that a little bit?
I think it's always mindset of everything between the whistle. I don't think, you want to do anything after the play. Second guy's always the one that gets caught. If they do something first and you retaliate, you're going to be the guy that gets punished for it, which whether it's fair or not, that's kind of how it goes a lot of the time. But yeah, they're a physical group. They're going to be ready to play. They play hard. They play sound. They were a 3-down team last year, turned more to a 4-down this year. But I think that, they're kind of finding their identity still, and I think that, it just takes one game for every team, so we got to come out ready to play.
I was more talking about the secondary. I mean, they'll
Yeah.
PIs, and they go right up to it and then they adjust to what the officials call.
And they do a good job adjusting. That's the thing, is that they're kind of listening throughout the game, and they get better throughout the game. So I think it's just 4 quarters, kind of never letting the foot off the gas, making adjustments, doing what you need to do, play in and play out, and just, like I said, just being ready for whatever they kind of bring.
Cole, when you come off a great win like that with Kansas, normally you just have that week to prepare and you can kind of ride that high through the week.
Yeah.
How do you guys kind of keep that energy up through a 2-week span when now you're trying to you're having to elongate it? How tough is that, and what do you guys try to do to kind of keep that energy up?
Yeah, there's definitely pros and cons to a bye week. Pros being that you have more time to prepare for your opponent, you have more time to watch them. Cons being that you do have 2 weeks and it's practice can get repetitive, and but I think it's just taking it one day at a time, one game at a time, and I think it's kind of been our mentality this whole year, is just one game at a time. Be 1-0 this week. Try to focus on each day, each period in practice, and just kind of go from there.
Is there anything that the players are doing with each other, or the coaches are saying to the players to kind of keep that energy? Hey, we had a great win. Don't let that energy die.
Yeah, I mean, it's just showing what you're capable of. I know as far as offense, we do a great job of showing plays that are good, and what we do well, and I think it's kind of building off that and giving yourself confidence to go out there and do that every play.
One thing you
you guys are good at, and it's been for a while, is the 2-minute situation.
Yeah.
Can you put your finger on why? Is it just all Garrett's good at it, or does this offense do it really well as a whole?
I mean, it starts with Garrett. Garrett does a great job. He's not afraid to use his legs in 2-minute, understands the situation really well. And then I just think it's confidence. I mean, I was watching the Virginia Tech-Miami game this Friday night, and Virginia Tech had the ball with 2 minutes to go, and I was just thinking in my head, like, I would way rather be Virginia Tech going to have an opportunity, even though they're down, going to have an opportunity to go win that game rather than, be Miami, be ahead, and let the offense kind of decide what you do. But, yeah, I mean, it starts with Garrett. It starts with kind of one big play. Huddy's really good at the 2-minute. He makes a lot of big plays in 2-minute. Jaheim does a really good job. So, it's just confidence, and it's just we rep those situations a lot. Like even Kansas, we had 2+ minutes, 3+ minutes. And we've done situations in practice with, minute 12 left, 1 timeout, we got to score a touchdown. Like we do harder situations in practice than we actually get in the game, so we're really prepared for it.
What's your no catch in the Virginia Tech Miami game? What's your?
I mean, that's for everyone else to speculate, but I mean, I thought the call was a touchdown, and it's hard to review that long and overturn a call, but I thought it was incomplete. Was kind of my take, but
Miami was it number 7? Is that a catch?
I don't know. I'm not going to comment on that.
Kole, to the end of the 2-minute offense of that conversation, you talked a lot with Coach Brown about he likes it, but you can't do it all the time.
Yeah.
What are your feelings on how much you guys would want to do it, if you want to do it earlier in games, if you think that would help you guys, or if you kind of understand where he's coming from?
Yeah, I think I understand where he's coming from. It is hard to do that all the time, especially on no line. That's really hard to have them chase the ball every single play. You got to have depth to be able to do that. You got to have depth at every position because you're going to be rolling fast. There's teams that make a living out of that. I remember Tennessee a couple years ago. They made a living out of just going high tempo as fast as they can. But it's just kind of your identity. We're a run-first offense, so it's hard to kind of do the tempo thing and just be throwing the ball and everything. But yeah, I mean, it's not what we do necessarily, but we do it well when we do it. So it's just kind of finding a balance of whether you should do it or shouldn't do it, and just kind of what you're good at as an offense.
How does that feel in the moment when you're in that 2-minute offense, like both physically and mentally, just kind of that hyper, the hyper, not sensitivity, but your hyper focus plus the go. What does that do to you in both with your head and with your body?
Definitely, I think you got to have a sense of composure to be able to do that, especially in these stressful situations when you got to go win the ball game. But personally, I love it. Like I go out there, I'm ready to go. I want to make the big play. I want to be the guy that makes the big play to kind of help boost this offense. So it's just kind of a sense of composure, being able to kind of get the call, get lined up quick, execute your job, and then just kind of do it full speed. So it's composure, it's practice, it's reps, and it's something that we've done a lot of. So it's something that we're confident in an offense.
What's Garrett's demeanor when he's in that 2-minute drill? Is he the composure guy, or is he an amp up guy? How does he kind of make that work?
He's a winner. He knows we're going to go out there and get it done. He says it every time before we go out there. We're the best 2-minute offense in the country. So it's full confidence from him, and it kind of just builds everyone else up around him.
You said at the beginning, you haven't been getting touches because you haven't been getting open, and you got to create more space to get open. How do you arrive at that conclusion? Is that just coaches, your quarterback, film, and then also you've seemed like you've found ways to fix that too. How do you fix it?
And it's not like I've done a bad job by any sense, but it's just more analyzing myself. I'm hard on myself. I'm probably the hardest person on myself in the building, and I think that it's just looking in the mirror and kind of figuring out what you can do better, and that's kind of where I'm at. Like if Garrett throws a bad ball, then so be it or whatever. But I mean, he doesn't do that too often. But if that kind of happens, and I'm looking at myself like, what can I do better? Not necessarily stuff that's out of my control. So that's just kind of where that's coming from. It's just more stuff that's in my control. What can I do that's going to improve my game and help everyone else around me?
They've given up a bunch of touchdowns to tight ends this year. Oklahoma State.
What's that?
The Oklahoma State has given up a bunch of touchdowns to tight ends.
Yeah, they've had a couple plays, but I'm just gonna kind of run the plays called. Hopefully, the ball finds me, and I'm never worried about stats necessarily. I just want to go out there and win, and I know we understand that this is a must-win game, and kind of moving forward, every game is a must-win game.
Watching games this weekend, you talk about the 2-minute offense and it looks like players would almost rather be coming from behind than trying to sit in on a lead. Is it more fun? Is it are you allowed to be more creative?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'd call it more fun. It's stressful. I'm sure we would rather be up by 20 running the 4-minute offense than running a 2-minute offense. But like I said, it's a sense of confidence. I know that when we go out there and we have a chance to win the game, that we're gonna get that done, and that's kind of where our mindset is. And moving forward, we want to have a chance. That's all you can ask for, is a chance to get the ball at the end of the game and try to win the game.
Two-point conversion play looked like you got a really good rub from Hudson, and y'all did a good combo there. How much does that help you in getting a little bit of space? And do you like flexing out a little bit more? Does that give you kind of different matchups you feel like you can take advantage of?
Yeah, I definitely think it's a matchup thing, and finding the right matchups is kind of the name of the game. But Hudson did a really good job on that play. Not necessarily how it was drawn up, but it worked out in the end. And I think that every time you have a good receiver and good receivers that are making plays, like Hudson had 150 plus or whatever it was. But he, when someone like that's having a good game, it just draws less attention towards the other guys. And the receivers have done a really good job making plays this year, and I think that moving forward they're going to make even more plays for sure.
What it was supposed to be? Was it design, or was it after the snap?
No, so it wasn't necessarily it was just a weird look, but it wasn't necessarily like a rub play, like a pick play or whatever. It was more just like sell and run and then getting out in the corner. But that's just kind of how it ended up. And a lot of football plays are just kind of off schedule and weird plays that happen. But that was a really cool play and a lot of fun. And T-Ray threw it up and gave me a chance, and that was obviously a fun way to end that game.
You mentioned it being a must-win game for you, and kind of every game is a must-win. I mean, it's that and then some for the opponent this week. They really can't go 0-3 in conference play and expect to have a chance. Does that change anything to what you're expecting, or does that change any energy to this game on your side?
Yeah, I mean, no, I think it's still just all about us. There's no secret that every week we need to win. Every game's important. We got to go 1-0, but we're not looking big picture Dallas. We're just looking this week to win. And I think that's kind of the mindset this whole season going forward is 1-0 this week. How are we going to beat Oklahoma State? And then, we'll worry about the rest on Sunday. But yeah, I mean, every game every in-conference game is going to be a tough battle, and I think everyone wants to win in-conference games, and just finding a way to win is the most important thing.
I was curious. You were talking about watching the Kansas State Oklahoma State on TV this past week. How much you're so used to just watching the film with no voice, someone trying to get in your ear. How different is that? And is it better? Is it worse? Or do you just say, okay, now I have to go back and watch the actual film so that I don't have people trying to tell me what is happening?
Yeah, it's always good to watch TV copies, just because you kind of see the flow of the game, kind of see the energy of the game, the energy that the defense is kind of bringing, or the offense. And it is cool kind of see what other people think and outside perspectives, because we have so many perspectives in here, and when we watch the film in here, it's definitely a little different, and it's kind of cool to see a TV copy and just announcers see what they say, and then even like refs talking about what they have, or the analysts and all that. So it's different, but I mean I like watching film. That's kind of where I think you get more in depth of what the defense is going to do, what each individual player is going to do, and how they're going to play.
Back to the 2-point play. Obviously, T-Ray held on to that for a while. How anxious do you get? You looked open early.
Yeah.
He's like, throw it. I'm running out of room. What goes through your mind in that situation?
Well, I mean, I watched him take it, and he kind of had it in his hand like he was going to throw it, and then I watched him tuck it, and I was like, all right, whatever. Like, he's going to try to make a play. And I kind of throw up a little hand, like I don't ever do that. But it was like, it's T-Ray, this isn't a quarterback, like maybe he doesn't see me or something. But no, it ended up working out, and T-Ray and I are 2 for 2 as far as that connection, so it's not a bad percentage.
Open week, I know some guys needed it. Did you need it physically, or were you okay?
I mean, I've been, trying to keep on top of everything, body-wise, but I think like everyone needs it. There's always an opportunity to feel a little better. These are tough, long seasons, and you're never going to feel 100%. But yeah, bye week's great to kind of get the body back, get feeling a little better, recharge mentally as well. I mean, just getting 2 or 3 days off can totally get you ready to go and excited again for everything.
Hard to believe you're a senior, and that this is the last 8 games, regular season games.
No, it is crazy. I mean, looking back at everything that I've been through and just college in general is just like I've been through so much, and it's been a great experience, and I've met great people, and sad to see it. I mean, we still got 8 games, so I'm not gonna get all sad up here, but it is sad when stuff comes to an end, and the kind of chapter ends. But just excited for the next 8 games and 8 games and beyond, hopefully, and just kind of taking this four games at a time is kind of my mindset. Like we got this 4-game stretch and then a bye, and taking those 4 games and putting it into a 1-0 every week, and I think that just gonna try to do as best we can and hopefully extend the season and make my senior season longer than it should be. Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah, he did.
Because he was here a while, right?
Yeah, no, he was here for a week or 2, and yeah, all my parents, my mom and dad, they've been able to make it to every game. My sister came to a game. I know my brother's coming to a couple games, and then we got that game out in Arizona. So having that family to be able to support you is just it's awesome and refreshing to see your family every weekend.
Real quick here.
Yep.
Stillwater, that atmosphere.
Yeah.
What do you know about it? What jumps out at you?
Yeah, I know that they're loud. I know that the sidelines are tight. I know that the fans are kind of right behind you, and excited for that atmosphere. We've played in loud atmospheres. We're going to practice all week, with crowd noise and everything, and I know that it's hostile in there, so I'm excited and looking forward. This will be my first time playing in there, so I'm looking forward to kind of getting in there and getting going.
Cole, you came here from LSU, right?
Yep.
Did you spend time with schemes at all?
I did not. No, he's doing a good job though up in Pittsburgh. Huh? He's doing all right. I did not get to spend it. I think he came there that semester after I left. So, but yeah, he's doing a good job up there.
Mustache.
Yeah, I know. We got the mustache going.